That is. It was kind of like a American Idol, but it was a rock version. Is that correct?
Sort of. Yeah, they were auditioning a lead singer for a band.
Okay.
And the first year was for NXS because, of course, their singer had passed away.
And was that the one that you auditioned for the first season?
This one was the second season, and they were creating a new band.
Okay.
So I really, I went on the show. I got scouted out to go on the show, and they were looking for people who actually could write songs, and they needed that presence on the show. And it was really a difficult decision for me to make. It felt good in a lot of ways and really sketchy in a lot of ways because I never had even watched a reality TV show.
Right.
And their claim was they intended on really wanting to showcase vocalists in a rock sense and wanted to celebrate people that did that, different from some of the other stuff. And, you know, the bummer for me was that, like, the great thing was I got exposure to a lot of people from around the world, and I have fans in different countries and people who appreciated the positivity that I brought to it.
Okay.
They really try to pull the worst out of people, but for the most part, I think I succeeded to be graceful, and I had great performances.
Now, you're talking about the producers of the program tried to make it more
Well, it's
edgy?
just a part of the thing. It's a part of the thing of that kind of television, the tension,
Sure. So they wanted more drama.
Character flaws, or when people break down, you know.
Right.
And, I really...
So they put you in challenging situations to see if you'd crack, kind of?
Yeah. And what's funny is, you know, and sue me, whatever. What's funny is that it's not always what it seems, you know?
Sure.
They can grab pictures of you, and I could say maybe they think you're feeling a certain way when they film you. And they use it in a certain way to make it look like you're breaking down.
Sure.
Maybe you got up at 3 in the morning and you filmed your segment at 5 a.m., you know?
Right.
No, we'd be singing doing our performances at like 6 o'clock in the morning and airing it that night and things like that. So it was really challenging, and also just, you know, completely away from your people, you know. For 2 months I lived there. And
this is in LA.
Yeah, and I think the most disappointing thing for me is that I think because the band they were creating claimed that they wanted to be more positive and not like the reputations that they each individually had. But when I really brought that to the show in terms of being healthy, working out, eating well, and other people on the show did too, but also on the beginning of the show, I refused to argue about what songs you were going to pick. And I kind of got everybody on that bandwagon. Like, we could all work it out and we could talk about it and help each other. And they didn't want that. They want people to fight. Right. So, you know, it was really fun for me to make the goal wasn't for winning for me. What I realized in the first couple of weeks when I saw what was happening was my goal was to get through with as much authenticity as I could. But that caused me to sort of get edited out a lot because it wasn't really the style of who they were, you know. And so my victory was coming out of that show, actually staying for 8 weeks, which was crazy. I thought I'd get kicked off really sooner because of my strategy was just to be myself. But also to get through that show and picking songs that I really thought were meaningful and that had lyrics that spoke to me and from my philosophical perspective in life. And then I got to play one of my original songs, which was Beautiful Thing that you mentioned earlier. And that became Song of the Year in Austin. Yeah. So great. Yeah. So some good things did come out of it. Totally. Very nice. We've got Patrice Pike live in the KPFT studio. You're going to sing one more for us, is that right? Sure. But before you do, tell folks about Hell's Bells. Oh, wow. I didn't know you knew about that. Yeah, that's cool. So that was really interesting. I'll try to keep it short. One of my really good friends is the guitar player in that band. Her name is Adrienne Connor. All-female AC/DC tribute band. Okay. Yes. And I've never even done covers, really, except for sometimes a songwriter I like. So I've never been in a cover band before or anything like that. They called me because they were having a transition. They're They're even, you know, Angus, the guitar player in AC/DC, is a fan, a big fan of theirs. But so they called me because they knew they could count on me to show up, do a great job, bring it, you know. And it was so weird for me because I loved AC/DC when I was a kid, but really different from what I do and the message that I carry. So what was great for me is I got to become a character. I got to be an actress, so to speak, and I got to like completely be someone else in this way in terms of bringing a character. It's interesting the gender twist with a band like AC/DC with women doing it, and the things that kind of show up in how you're hearing the lyrics. What I had to do was sit down and say, okay, how can I be really a character but also be authentically passionate about this? And what came up for me was I decided that there's a Hindu goddess named Kali. And what I did in order to get my head, it was interesting because I got to practice what actors and actresses do to kind of wrap their head around a character. And what I did was I decided I wanted to embody this kind of destroying goddess that was destroying in a way that was helpful, you know, that would destroy certain things through the energy and the music to bring out the best on the other side of that. And that's how I got into this whole thing. How can I sing Hell's Bells? How can I sing, you know, For Those About to Rock and Thunderstruck and all these songs? And it was a lot of fun. We played to a sold-out 1,000-seat venue in Eugene, you know,
so you went on
Oregon
tour with
and
them.
Alaska. And yeah, in fact, I've played in every state in the United States except for Alaska until I went on the road with Hell's Bells for a few months and knocked off my 50th state with them.
Very nice.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Cool, very cool. And is there a video of you rocking out with these
It's out
these
there.
ladies?
You can find it.
Okay,
Yeah.
very nice. Patrice Pike playing live tonight at the Mucky Duck for her weekly gig. Starts at 6:30 and ends around 8:30. And you watch the show, and if you enjoyed it, you put whatever you think it was worth in the pot. So go on out and support some great music here in town at the Mucky Duck tonight. We're going to talk you out of one more?
Tonight and every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
For a while, yeah. Yeah, let's see.